007. Hot reload versus hot restart. You're probably using the wrong one. There are two shortcuts every Flutter developer uses every day. One saves your state, the other destroys it. And most developers don't know the difference until they lose 10 minutes of debugging. Quick quiz. You have a static integer called global count. Initialized to 0, you change it to 10 in your code. Now, do you press lowercase r for hot reload or uppercase R for hot restart to actually see the new value on screen? Hint, most people guess wrong. I was deep into debugging a complex form. 5 fields filled out, scrolled halfway down, a specific drop-down selected. Then I hit the wrong shortcut. Everything reset. My state was gone. All because I pressed restart instead of reload. So let's think of your running app as a dish that's actively being cooked. The chef is halfway through the recipe, the pot is on the stove, ingredients are already in, the dish is alive. Hot reload is like changing the seasoning mid-cook. The customer says, "Add a bit more salt." The chef sprinkles salt into the pot that's already on the stove. The dish stays in its current state. Only the recipe changes. Change the recipe, keep the dish. Hot restart is like throwing everything out and starting a brand new dish. The customer says, "Actually, I want something completely different." The chef dumps everything into the trash, grabs a clean pot, and starts from raw ingredients. Nothing from the old dish survives. So technically, here's what hot reload actually does. Your updated source code gets injected into the running Dart VM. The VM recompiles only the changed classes and rebuilds the widget tree. But here's the key. Your app state stays intact. Variables keep their values. Scroll positions are preserved. And importantly, init state is skipped. It doesn't run again, but did update widget does fire. Now here's what hot restart does. It kills the entire running Dart VM, completely destroyed. Then it boots a brand new VM from scratch. Main executes again. Init state fires again. Every variable goes back to its default value. The widget tree is built from scratch. There is no memory of the previous state. Let's lock it in with a side-by-side comparison. VM status. Reload keeps it alive. Restart kills it. App state. Reload keeps it. Restart loses it. Init state. Reload skips it. Restart runs it. Main function. Reload skips it. Restart runs it. Two very different outcomes from two very similar shortcuts. Now let me show you a live example. Here's a simple counter app. The user has tapped 5 times. Count equals 5. The code shows a text widget displaying the count with white text color. The dish is on the stove. Now I change the text color from white to teal in the code and press lowercase r. That's hot reload. Look at the result. The color changed to teal, but the count is still 5. The recipe changed. The state stayed. That's exactly what hot reload does. Now let's try the other shortcut. Same app, same code, but this time I press uppercase R, hot restart. The count goes back to 0. Everything is gone. Back to raw ingredients. The teal color applied because the code has it, but the state was completely wiped. But here's where the cooking analogy breaks. Some changes are too fundamental to simply season in. You can't just sprinkle them into the pot. You have to throw out the entire dish and start fresh. Here's a real example. I have an enum called status with 3 values: loading, success, and error. Now I add a 4th value, offline. I press lowercase r for hot reload. And the VM refuses. Hot reload rejected. Reload failed. The VM refuses the new spice. So what exactly does hot reload ignore? Changes to main logic. Modifications inside init state. Added or removed enum values. Changed generic type parameters. And static or global initializers. Why? Because these define the structure of the app, not just the rendering. To apply these kinds of changes, you must use Hot Restart. Here's a simple decision matrix for you. Think of it as the skeleton versus the skin. If your change is structural, enums, statics, main, generics, that's the skeleton. Use Restart. The VM reboots, and state is lost. If your change is visual or a logic tweak, UI colors, widget properties, methods, that's the skin. Use Reload. The VM injects the new code, and state is preserved. And the golden rule to remember is this: structural change equals restart. Visual or logic tweak equals reload. That's it. So here's the one line I want you to take away. Reload changes the recipe. Restart throws out the dish. Know which one you need. And speaking of the kitchen, when the chef is done cooking, who cleans up the plates? That leftover data sitting in memory. Who takes care of it? Next episode, Memory and the Busboy. We're talking about garbage collection.